Nonetheless, nobody turned away whenever Clat began talking about the diseased, contemplative recluse. Nobody tried to silence or even question whatever claims he made concerning Asclepius. He was a monster, said the doctor to some of us who were gathered one night in a ruined factory on the outskirts of the town. Clat frequently stigmatized Asclepius as either a monster or a freak, though these epithets were not intended simply as a reaction to the grotesque physical appearance of the notorious recluse. It was, in a strictly metaphysical sense, according to Clat, that Asclepius should be viewed as most monstrous and freakish, qualities that emerged as a consequence of his intensely contemplative nature. He had incredible powers available to him, said the doctor. He might even have cured himself of his diseased physical condition, who can say? But all his powers of contemplation, all of those incessant meditations that took place in his high backstreet house, were directed toward another purpose altogether. Saying this much, Dr. Clat fell silent in the flickering makeshift illumination of the ruined factory. It was almost as if he were waiting for one of us to prompt his next words so that we might serve as accomplices in this extraordinary gossip over his deceased patient Asclepius. Eventually, someone did inquire about the contemplative powers and meditations of the recluse, and toward what end they might have been directed. What Asclepius sought, the doctor explained, was not a remedy for his physical disease, not a cure in any unusual sense of the word. What he sought was an absolute annulment, not only of his disease, but of his entire existence. On rare occasions he even spoke to me, the doctor said, about the uncreation of his whole life. After Dr. Clat had spoken these words, there seemed to occur a moment of the most profound stillness in the ruined factory where we were gathered. No doubt everyone had suddenly become possessed, as was I, by a single object of contemplation, the absent grave, which Dr. Clat described as an uncreated grave within the hilltop graveyard outside of town. You see what has happened, Dr. Clat said to us. He has annulled his disease and his nightmarish existence, leaving us with an uncreated grave on our hands. Nobody who was at the ruined factory that night, nor anyone else in the northern border town, believed there would not be a price to pay for what had become and for what had been revealed to us by Dr. Clat. Now all of us had become meddling accomplices in those events, which came to be euphemistically described as the Asclepius escapade.